Gibson, I thought I'd just check base and see where we are. You've got 16 cases. I haven't heard a word about them. We got some in custody. Have you talked to Miss Conway yet?
Yes.
And what's she gonna do?
She said she would accept the plea if she's given credit for time served.
That's the plan. Who else is in custody?
Helen Olowski, and she's going to be accepting a plea to the deferral under a DV under deferral, and she has approximately 20 some days credit. So, and then, Katie Brandy's.
All right, well, let's just,
Okay.
is Katie Brandy's in custody also?
No.
All right, well, let's take care of Miss Conway. She gotta eat lunch.
There was someone here, Ashton Kuhn, and he wanted it set for a last pretrial. He said he had to be somewhere, and
he has a probation violation also. He does not have my blessing to leave.
Okay. So he's got a probation violation today, or?
Well, he had one pending.
Okay. Is he here, Ashton?
He was here. I haven't seen him.
I'm pretty sure I saw him when I was outside meeting.
All right.
Because he said he had to.
Sorry, I really got better in Spain. I do apologize.
I could try to call Ashton.
Well, we're not calling your case right now.
Oh, okay.
But thanks for being here. We got a bunch of them.
Okay.
Ms. Conway. This is multiple files on Elizabeth May Conway. File number 251750, 1730, 1790. The defendant is charged with no insurance under the insurance code in file 251730. Charged with driving suspended in file 1731 on 8/24. Charged with driving suspended second on 8/26, 2 days later. Charged with driving suspended again in September. So the defendant has 3 driving suspendeds, a couple of insurance cases. The city attorney, Mr. George, has agreed to dismiss his case. And Miss Stoll is here. Elizabeth, you've been in jail now for, I think, about 28 days. Let's take a look. I wanted to get you in here because you've been in the lockup for so long. I wanted to get you back for lunch. I don't think I'm going to get lunch. You've been in jail for 27 days. Mr. Gibson, what's the plea offer here?
My understanding is that he would be pleading to no insurance under the insurance code in one of the 2 state of Michigan files for that charge, and that she would be pleading to driving with license suspended, first offense in another state of Michigan charge. And that you said that the Three Rivers charge would be dismissed.
All right.
But I guess I just need to get that clarified from the prosecutor, because I don't know if Angelique and I had discussed the 25-1731 ST case.
That's the driving suspended first offense. And that would accompany the no insurance in 251730. Ms. Stoll, the offer is a plea to one no insurance and one driving suspended.
That's correct.
All right. Elizabeth, you're alleged to have on multiple occasions driven a car without having a valid driver's license. In fact, it's suspended. You also were driving on August 26th without insurance. Prosecutors offered that if you plead to those two charges, they'll dismiss all the other cases. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Do you understand that if you do plead to this charge, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury? There will be no trial. Do you understand that?
yeah,
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Mr. Gibson is here with you. You could also ask to have had an attorney appointed. If you had a trial, you'd have a right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. And you have the right to be presumed innocent unless the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You look like Cornholio with your hood up like that. All right. Do you understand all that?
Yeah.
And other than what I just said here, did anyone threaten you to get you to plead to this
no.
or promise you anything?
Just basically time served. is what I
Yes.
thought. Okay. So is it only two, am I only pleading to one insurance or one?
One insurance and one driving
Okay,
suspended.
that's fine, because the only reason why I was suspended is because I forgot to pay my traffic ticket here.
Well, you got multiple unpaid tickets here.
Yeah,
You've
but
got-
I was supposed to pay $10 payment plan and I forgot to, so it suspends your license.
You owe $1,424 worth of unpaid tickets.
Yeah.
And you got stopped 3 days in a row. So certainly maybe the first day you didn't know it,
Yeah.
second day, and then the third day. All right. And so
Yeah,
you're
my
driving
mom
on
just
that
passed away,
day,
so,
August 24th, without any insurance or valid plate. Is that true?
what, driving without a license?
Valid without a license and driving while suspended.
Yeah,
Elizabeth, last year you spent a lot of time at the forensic center and they got you in better shape. Then I saw this and you keep driving and finally ended up in jail. You can't drive. Do you understand?
yeah.
Where are you gonna stay? And I let you out
I can go to Three Rivers, I can go to my Aunt Brenda's.
because you're about to get out. You're gonna be standing on the front steps of the
Yeah, no,
jail.
I got my debit card too.
Will someone come pick you up?
Yeah, I can call.
All right.
Yeah.
You can't drive, you understand?
Yeah,
All right, till you get this straightened out. This one, I'm gonna order 27 days, credit 27 days. 0 fines and costs. I did these all in the same circumstance. This one carries a minimum $200 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, and a $50 state minimum fee. I'm gonna waive the attorney fee. Do $325 as part of your payment plan. $10 a month for all this, I'll be 90 by the time you get it paid off, but maybe it will happen. And on the driving suspended for the same day, I'm gonna order 0 fine and cost, but 27 days, credit 27 days. All right, Miss Conway, how about if you don't come see me for a while? You're just barely hanging on. You're struggling with your mental health issues. You've
Yeah,
got no money.
unfortunately, the last time I was here, you didn't know it, but that signature you signed wasn't even a cop that arrested me or a detective. It was illegal. So you didn't know that, so I did my math, I studied on it recently. So I got arrested illegally and I didn't have a warrant
On the
either.
whole case?
I didn't have a warrant and you guys arrested me illegally on private property.
I think you're mistaken.
No, I'm
But
not.
let's- Well,
I
that-
pledged, remember when I pledged to it? I did that, so another reason why I did that misdemeanor is because I wanted to know that guy's name so I could make sure and do my research on it, because that was illegal. That was 8 months of my life away from my 3-year-old, who's now almost 3. And then I also was really fairly pregnant and large in this jail, and the officers knew that too, and I was delivering a baby in your jail, and they did nothing to stop anything. It just pretty much just died. It was like 8 months long. They didn't give a shit.
I don't know, Elizabeth, but I'm trying to get you out of jail today.
I
so-
know, I'm just saying, I'm just letting you know, it was really incorrect. You don't know who's a cop and who's not, so you didn't know anything about it, so I'm not mad.
All right, well, you can go with officer.
Yeah.
So why don't you bring the other lady? All right, good luck to you,
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
You said that, you know, right?
Yes. Now, that person is, Miss Conway, could you unmute your microphone? If I could do it, I would. Elizabeth, can you hear me? Miss Conway, could you unmute your microphone?
It's been unmuted the whole time.
All right, very good, very good. All right, this is file number 252111LT. Susan Churchill and Elizabeth Conway. This is a property on 7th Street in Three Rivers. Miss Conway is in the upstairs apartment. Miss Churchill wants her to move. She filed a notice to quit on August 27th. Miss Conway had been in custody for some of that time, but is out now. And are you in
Yep.
your apartment right now, Miss Conway?
What'd you say?
Are you in your apartment right now?
No, I'm not. I actually wasn't in custody anytime when they filed a complaint, because I never received a complaint in August. I filed police reports multiple times on that resident. So anyways, a long story short, I never received a notice. She said she wanted me to move because I was blaming her roommate doing criminal things, but she even did something kind of illegal too. But I'm not going there with that right now. It's just about landlord tenant. All I'm saying is I never said I wanted to stay there and stay in their house for free or whatever, do whatever I want to when I want to, or anything, or do anything weird, because I'm not weird like that. I
All right, well,
filed
do you wish to move?
I filed multiple claims to the police department, and it's not just basically on one circumstance from those people. It was multiple other people too. But I don't appreciate you going on and saying I'm writing a book or something like that, because I caught you at my legal address when my mom was dying, and my mom lived in a nursing home. And I remember talking to you on the phone specifically, and I told
Well,
you
when you were here in
that
court,
residents, I told you though, on the phone on your clerk's office, you said you wanted to see John Dupree in court, and now he supposedly doesn't have anything on record because you're kind of a little nervous because I caught you at my legal address, because I changed my address from Constantine so I can get my ID, and I ended up staying there briefly in this lady's house, but like I'm sitting here listening to you, and then I hear you saying to my mother when you pulled her out of a hospital and pulled her outside in front of the yard where it's my legal address, and Dupree was not outside doing anything. It was you guys, Lisa that used to work
Miss
for the jail.
Conway, could you take a breath for a minute?
I can't
You
because I'm really
suffer from mental, none of the
you-
things you just said
No,
happen.
I
But
don't.
let me ask you a
You're gonna
question.
go to jail.
Are you willing to
Milton, you're
move
getting
out of this
arrested.
property?
What I'm telling you is you're going to be arrested, Middleton, and I'm sorry, but I caught you touching my mother, and she's a Bingaman.
Yes, so those are.
I caught you putting your hands on my mom.
Oh.
You told my mother you were going to be the reason. No, do not call me delusional, because I have it in my home fucking photograph. photographic even memory. You pulled my mother out in the middle of her dying bed when she was already getting home invaded at the nursing home. And you knew that because you broke into the police department with your family a couple months before that.
All right, Elizabeth, I'm gonna mute your microphone. Miss Conway was at the Forensic Center for a considerable period of time pending a competency recertification. It took a while. So we got over that hump. And my fear is she has regressed. If it was a criminal case, I don't think she'd be competent to proceed. Let's see if I can bring her down here, but I've never met her mother, seen her mother, touched her mother. So Miss Churchill, is she still there?
She hasn't been there, but I was told that she was in jail for a while. And she showed up 2 days ago at my house, took some stuff and left. So she hasn't actually stayed in the apartment for a while, but she was never paying rent. She was never supposed to be a tenant.
She told me that's where she was gonna go when I let her out of jail. So let's bring her back.
Complaint against Middleton for
All
touching
right,
my mother.
Elizabeth, do you wish to
the
stay
dying
here at
bed.
this property?
Do I want to stay at the property? Do you think I want to
Yes.
stay at that property after 3 hours PD threw me 100 miles an hour to Kalamazoo for more than one person, but to do a rape kit with her fucking tenant after he tried to murder me because he was afraid I was going to report the rape
Which
kit?
case are these?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth right now? And then you have this woman fucking hostage me with guns, and that guy's up there tampering every pack of cigarettes I have that I paid $10 back for, trying to hostage me there because he was touching me when I first moved in there. I don't want to fucking hear it.
Elizabeth, you're
I
not
don't
doing
hear
well
it.
at all.
You are. I'm not doing this with you because you broke the law, Middleton. You brought my mother out in her dying bed a month ago, and you were in the middle of the road in the middle of the night saying, "I'm not losing my job because of you, Teresa Winrick." Basically, you didn't say her name, but she was dying, and Dale Carl was out there too. And you're not going to just blame it all on these two people, anyways, because you guys were touching my fucking
Elizabeth,
mother.
you
and I will
are
take
in
your
an
job,
acute
Middleton.
psychotic
Middleton,
episode.
I am not.
I'm gonna continue this to 2:30 on November 17th.
I will defer
down.
to your discretion,
You
Judge.
sent me away for 8 months, you retard. You sent me away for 8 months saying I needed a psych bail and I needed to learn what the law meant. So it took me 5 months to learn stuff about the law because whenever I've been in trouble, I'll plead guilty if I can get out. Because one time you put me in jail for missing a video court on disordered person when I was a victim and stuff like that. And then you wanted to cut my
Elizabeth,
bond for
we're gonna
$25,000.
continue this matter to next Monday at 2:30.
You already apologized to
And
me
you're
once
gonna
and called
get
me a
10
drug addict.
days from that date to move out or you'll be evicted.
Okay,
I don't
I'm
have the
filing
authority
a
to
police
order
report
a
against
competency
Middleton.
evaluation in
I
a
can pass
landlord
a lie
tenant
detector
case.
test, and I'll pass a lie detector test
Judge,
any
do I
time of
need
day.
to leave,
Middleton,
let her
you
in the
talk about
home?
putting your hand.
Ms. Churchill, what was your question?
Do I need to let her back in the house?
Yes, she is a tenant at sufferance. You can't lock her out. She lived there for some time. I'm not even sure how she got in there. She had a number of retail fraud cases, and then the most recent cases were all driving matters. She continued to drive with a suspended license. I let her out after 27 days in jail sometime last week. And she told me she was gonna go back to this apartment, Susan's place in Three Rivers. But yes,
Well, she
she
was
is a
never a
tenant.
tenant. She was a
So let me see.
squatter.
She's on a roll here. Let me see if I can bring her down a little bit.
I was like, you know,
Elizabeth, do you
20 more
understand
days.
you need to come back
Middleton,
next
I-
Tuesday,
do you hear what
at
I'm saying to
2:30?
you, Middleton? I'm trying to save your job for a minute, but you were caught hurting my suffering mother because she was getting home invaded at the nursing home because you
All right, I'm
let
gonna
the lady
delete you.
down
I'll
last
see you
year.
next Tuesday at
No,
2:30, right
don't
here,
you
but
Lord
you
me,
can't
you're
say
going to
stuff
jail
like
now.
this on the
I want
record.
you arrested, Middleton. You're going to
Yes,
jail.
all
I
right,
know
thank you. You
putting your
probably and
hands on
several
my
others.
mother.
Those are difficult cases. I've been dealing with her for several years and I've watched her decline. And, but she's there. she doesn't have a lease. She's not paying any rent. The plaintiff wants her out, is entitled to get her out. We'll try again next week. We'll see whether she shows up. But I don't have a better answer for her right now. All right, Mr. Bush, I'm gonna take a minute. Ms. Churchill, I wish I had a better answer for you too. Somehow you let her in there. And now she has tenant status and I can't just summarily kick her out. So we have next week and then she would get 10 days from that day. If I could get her to take a breath and have a rational thought, maybe I could get her to just agree to move out. But I don't think that's gonna happen. So
So I
we'll
have to
try
put
again
up with her
next
for
week.
another week?
What?
So I have to let her in for another week?
Yes. My fear is she's gonna end up getting arrested again because of her mental illness, but if that happens, we'll deal with it. All right, I hope she stops driving.
And then Shanine Fernandez. Or no, Michael Cook.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Present, sir.
Let's say, and then you folks. And then you're asking for on Ms. Hauser. She was served
Yes, sir.
and but I don't see her.
I'm not here, sir.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So come on, I didn't realize I was looking on the Zoom call. You can come up and take a seat. Actually, but we're going to take care of these other ones first. Looks like, yeah. So Ms. Cawley, I'm going to come back to you. You
Yes,
come
Your
back
Honor.
on the Zoom call?
Yes, can you see me?
There you are. Yes, I can see you. Has there been any issues since the temporary has been served?
Not since it was served, but like the day prior to it being served, yes. It was served on the 4th.
Right. No, but I mean, I'm just wondering if there was any issues after. I think it's promising that once he's been served with the order, then there hasn't been any issues. Hopefully that will continue. But it's now 9:20. He was supposed to be here at 9 a.m. Given his non-appearance, the petition for, I'm going to call up your temporary. An order will be in place for a year. It'll expire on November 10th. In 2026. The parameters of the order will be the same as the temporary, not to cause you any harm, no contact, have no contact with you, don't engage in stalking behavior, don't come within 1,000 feet of you, your residence, or your workplace. Um, Service is not required because he did not appear, but the full order is essentially the same terms as the temporary order.
Thank you.
And that's it for today, ma'am. You can get a copy of this, or if you need it, it'll be in place for 1 year. You can get a copy of it off the district court website if you wish to do that.
Okay, thank you.
And you're free to go. Good luck.
Awesome, thanks.
And Ms. Dyer, do you want to come back on the Zoom call?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Hi there. So we're gonna start a hearing here, so it's probably
Okay.
gonna be a while. You're free to go if you want. We'll reconvene in 2 weeks. The no contact, the no contact order will remain in effect through 2 weeks from today. You can pass that on to the BARDAs, and we'll see everybody here 2 weeks from today.
Okay, will we get new Zoom instruction links or should we use our same ones we currently
They'll
have?
be use the same ones,
Okay,
same ones. It'll be the
perfect.
same courtroom, same time.
Thank
And
you
I
very much, Your
recognize, you know,
Honor.
you said apparently they have a new child that, I'm certainly no stranger to how that disrupts schedules, but it would be great if, you know, if everyone was here at 9, but I do
Yeah.
understand, and I'll give leeway, but anyway, you're free to go, ma'am. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And, give me just a minute. I'm gonna call up, and then Mr. Smith, I see still on the Zoom call. Of course, you're free to go.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Hope you have a good day.
Thank you. And then, I'm gonna call up this case, which is okay, so this is the only case we have on today that's going to be a full hearing. And so just to lay some ground rules, what happens for the three of you, I'm going to start with the petitioners. I'll swear one or both of them. I'll ask who wants to speak first. I'll hear from that person, hear from the person, the other person. Are you here for a case, sir? What's your name?
Williams.
Um, so yeah. So you were, first of all, you're supposed to be here at 9. And secondly,
I'm sorry.
and so I didn't see that Mr. Colvin had been served. And so for today,
I have it all here.
what's that?
I have it all here.
Okay.
They kind of, everybody just history over there, so I'm gonna play this dude. So we're not this
I don't even know what that means. Who's they?
Mr. Folden.
Okay. And so who served them?
Nobody has yet. I did anything for the sheriff's.
Okay,
I
yeah.
Didn't want to do it in tonight.
Okay, so no, what, okay. When you say I have all the paperwork here, that tells me that you, well, maybe I misunderstood
Well,
you.
I printed
Okay,
it all
so
out
can you just
Friday.
let me talk for a minute, okay? So what we need to do is we're gonna, if you want to is there a temporary in this?
No, or yes.
Okay, so we're gonna reissue the temporary for 2 weeks, give you a chance to serve him, and then we'll reconvene in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
All right. And then we'll take care of that, then we'll come back to you folks. As I was saying, though, both groups are going sworn in. I'll hear from them, then I'll hear from you. And then I may have questions for one or all three of you, and then following that, I'll make a determination whether a temporary was granted, a temporary's orders in place. I'll make a determination as to whether that'll be extended for the next year. Thank you. I'll just give him. I'll just give it this to him now.
Yeah, and then.
I'm going to give you this renewal, then you need to go over and get a new service packet from the clerk's office. And then we'll see you in 2 weeks. And again, it would be extremely helpful to be on time, because if sometime if he showed up, and you didn't, by now, this thing would have been dismissed because you weren't here. So you need to be on time. All right?
Yes, sir.
You may go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. For between Mr. Cook and Ms. Fernandez, who's going to speak first?
I'll speak first, Your Honor.
Need you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. And how is it, we call the petition up here. How is it you need an order against Ms. Hauser?
Ms. Hauser is my next door neighbor, and she has been increasing in severity and frequency in her aggression towards me, my 13-year-old daughter, and my husband, Michael Cook.
How so?
Well, most recently on Saturday, 10/25, Sharon woke up my family at 4:15 in the morning, screaming obscenities, calling me a fat fucking whore and a dumb bitch. She threatened to kill me. She frequently wakes me up and pulls her truck out of our driveway, blares her music. She follows my husband while he's taking my daughter to school. She's gotten out of her car in the middle of the highway and slammed her hands on the passenger side where my 13-year-old daughter was. I think she was 12 at the time when that happened. And called her a little fucking bitch and said that she's going to kill our family. She's pulled a knife as recent as April 11th, 2025 on my husband. She will like shove recycling bins into my husband. She frequently tells me and screams at me that she's going to kill us, slice us up in the middle of the night, calling me a fat ass bitch, threatening to kill me. I'm a goddamn fucking whore. She throws her cigarettes over on our property into our driveway. She throws her dog's feces onto our cars and puts it underneath our handles of our cars. She has egged our house and our walkway into our home. She is unstable, and I'm fearful of what might happen next.
How long have you lived there?
Most recently, I moved back in 2021, and this has been an ongoing thing, but like I said, it's increasing in severity and
Always
frequency.
been this way, or is it,
I'm
what
sorry.
exactly?
Can you repeat that?
Is it, because a lot of times you see these neighbor situations, next door neighbors, you hear things like, oh, we started out as friends and then something happened. And then things go off the rails. I mean, is that what's this? I'm just trying to get a little background as to how this got to the point where you're in court asking for a protection order. That's why, I mean, is it, you don't need to repeat what you've told me. I'm wondering if there was like a certain event that led to all this, or whether this is just kind of how it's always been, but
it's kind of always been this way. Sharon's just done some weird things over the years. I mean, she's actually come to me and apologized when I moved out the first time. She's very territorial. She thinks that she owns the street in front of her house. I think it was May of last year. My husband came home from a fishing trip from Canada at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he knew that we would all have to leave in the morning. We have a full house. We have a big family. And so he parked on the street, which is owned by the city or the county, in front of our home. And she lives alone, and she told me to tell him not to park there anymore. And I just said, no, Sharon, I'm not going to do that. And then she started to call me a cunt and a whore, and she's not the one sucking his dick and all this other stuff.
Okay, all right. I get the picture. I'm just asking if there was a triggering event, and it doesn't seem to. Let me hear from Mr. Cook, and then I'll hear from Ms. Hauser. Mr. Cook, could you raise your right hand, please? And do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down.
Thank you.
Go ahead. I'll hear from you. How is it you need an order against Ms. Hauser?
Sir, I guess it's just the level of the escalation. I mean, it went from like verbally assaulting myself, my daughter, and my wife to the fact that it's gone to the point where she's like pulled weapons on us now. I guess my greatest concern is that she's being aggressive towards our 13-year-old daughter. So I'm concerned because as parents that work full time, we can't be there all the time. Our daughter does.
No, we lost him.
Uh-oh.
So we'll wait.
Bring
You
back
come back.
in. Yeah.
We'll just wait. Are you happen to be in the same house with him, ma'am, at the moment?
No, Your Honor, we work different shifts.
Okay, maybe you could, are you on your phone or computer?
I could try to call him and see if maybe.
Just text him or something like that. And just
Okay.
tell him to log back on. Tell him, he probably knows. He's coming back right now.
Oh, perfect.
I don't know if I've used that word to describe the Zoom hearing process, but we'll go with that.
Technological difficulty.
Sorry, the area I'm in, I'm just seeing patients in semi-rural area. So Sharon will drive by our daughter. She will swear at her. She will finger her. I'm concerned with the fact that she's already pulled a weapon on me. I'm concerned that she's going to escalate her aggression towards our daughter. We have called the police numerous times and they said that the correct path is to go through the legal process and put the legal protections in order so that they can respond accordingly. I want to make sure that we have everything in place so that if the attacks or the aggressions increase in severity, that we can call 911 and get an immediate response so that we don't get shot, stabbed, or any harm towards myself or my family, sir. I just want to make sure we have everything in place to protect our family.
So I'm going to swear in Ms. Hauser and then I'm going to hear from her. Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can sit down. So I'll hear from you. What's your position on what we just heard from Mr. Cook and Ms. Fernandez?
Gratefully, sir. First, I'd like to apologize to the court and to yourself for having to hear the language. I'd like to just briefly state that Ms.
And
Fernandez.
it's not, you shouldn't apologize to me for hearing the language. They're the ones hearing the language.
Yes, sir.
You know, and so that's what they say. So I would have you respond to that.
Yes, sir. And like I said, I'd like to, apologize to Ms. Fernandez for the language that I'm using. I am trying to defend myself, Your Honor, the very best way that I can against Ms. Fernandez's male husband. I have lived in this neighborhood next to Ms. Fernandez for 19 years, sir, with no problems. We've had our relationships, helping each other out, doing things. When Ms. Fernandez moved out of the neighborhood, the 3 renters, Summer, her sister, Heather, Shelly, that lived there before Ms. Fernandez moved back into the neighborhood, these 6-7 years, sir, no problem at all. No problem at all in the neighborhood with any of the neighbors. When Ms. Fernandez moved back, Your Honor, Ms. Fernandez moved back alone. She came over to my home and we spoke about our past relationship. We spoke about our shared responsibility. It wasn't, sir, until a year later, until Ms. Fernandez's family members slowly started to come back around in the neighborhood. And that's when Ms. Fernandez and I, sir, started having problems. It started out, sir, very subtle. It started out with just things like I would come home and my garbage can would be moved. Or I would come home and things just started to be missing. Ms. Fernandez's husband, forgive me, Ms. Fernandez's family member, sir, would start commenting on my clothing, my dog, my cat, my television being too loud, sir. It got now to the point, sir, to where we are at now. Ms. Fernandez spoke about vehicles. No vehicle, sir, has ever been vandalized, neither mine or her that I know of. As far as loud music and in the neighborhood, sir. Nobody in our music, not in 19 years, not after Jill's youngest son grew up and got out of that stage of playing loud music. Also, sir, I'd like to comment, I believe, on the real fact that I am here today, that Ms. Fernandez has to now address what is going on with the predatory behavior of her husband, sir. We are here.
Wait. There's a couple things here.
Yes, sir.
First of all, the issue is, I don't, well, go ahead. I'll let you continue.
And I'll be brief, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. It has gotten now to the point to where throughout this time, most of the incidences, sir, that Ms. Fernandez's husband has done these things, Ms. Fernandez has not even been home, sir.
What things?
Okay. Ms. Fernandez brought up the point about the vehicle parking out in front of the home. I have complained on a number of occasions when I started standing up for myself against Ms. Fernandez's husband, especially about parking in front of my house. If questioned, sir, he should answer truthfully that he blocks the shared entrance of our driveway with his recycle cans, with his garbage and recycle cans, to impede my entrance of being able to get in daily, weekly, sir. I have to deal with this. Also, he has a loud muffler on his car like the kids have. 0600 this morning, sir. It's a daily thing, but 0600 this morning. Vehicle started up, drove just the length of the driveway, stopped right underneath my window, sir. Rev, and then turned off. Everything, sir, now to where the stolen fences. There was a nefarious report made, sir, on October 31st. I was on duty out on post, sir. I wasn't even home. When I got off duty, sir, and got home, my contractor fence is gone. The first original fence, sir, there's a privacy fence. I brought this with me today. There's a covenant that needs to be refilled. For 19 years, sir, I have been putting money into the shared fence. Ms. Fernandez and her family has not helped one bit. So what I did over the summer, because, sir, the wood fit with the renters, with Summer, with Heather, with Shelley, with Ms. Fernandez when she lived there the first time, with Ms. Fernandez when she lived there the last time. The fence pieces, parts, partials, boards have blown down, and I'm the only one, sir, that has been putting money into it. When the fence blown down this last time, Ms. Fernandez is now in the home. The fence blows down, has two panels leaning on their side. I know now, after being terrorized by Ms. Fernandez's husband all summer, boats being parked out in front of my driveway, peeking through my window, idling for ungodly minutes outside of my home, angled so they could see in front of my window. I said to call the contractor, and I put up on my side of the property a nice chain link privacy fence. The other half of this fence, sir, the requirements from the city requires a silt screen because of the trade wars and things like that are happening. That silt screen has been bought and paid for. I'm waiting for it to be installed. When the panels blew over, now, sir, it's in the fall. The wind is starting to blow. Those panels are falling over. Miss Fernandez's male partner, her husband, sir, cut that fence down and removed it and brought it to his home. He doesn't even live here, sir. Where's my fence? So I had to call the contractor. I have on video, sir, where he took his lawnmower. And now my $5,000 fence, I'm trying to protect myself against any more terrorizing from this man.
So hang on a second.
Lastly, sir,
Stop. So I've heard you say a bunch of things about, apparently you have some issues with Mr. Cook. That doesn't explain all the name calling, horrible name calling that Ms. Fernandez is hearing.
Yes, sir. And I'd like to address that right now very quickly, sir. I'd like to, and have on a number of occasions, apologize to Ms. Fernandez. She knows that Ms. Fernandez, I want to believe in her heart, knows that I want peace. I've been there with her youngest child. I've been there with her oldest child. Ms. Fernandez, sir, and her family, they're nice people. They're nice people, and I'd like to apologize again. Sir, I have no other tool to defend myself against the everyday onslaught. Why? The only thing, sir, that I could say is when Ms. Fernandez went back to the neighborhood, she came in honesty, girl to girl and heart to heart. These things, sir, I said to Ms. Fernandez, is being hurt as a girl from the heart, lashing out. When Miss Fernandez came back to the neighborhood, she brought a basket with her, sir, a check for $250 and some food. She sat down with me, sir, in my living room when we talked. She told me when I first moved into the neighborhood 19 years ago, she was jealous of me. I don't know why. I'm an older woman, but jealous of my lifestyle, jealous of me. And I told her, you have no reason. You had no reason, and you still don't. The check, sir, for the fence. She offered me a $250 fence in apology for me only being the one to maintain the shared responsibility under the covenantal responsibility through the city for our neighborhood. I did not accept the check, but I told her I needed the food and I accepted the food. The problems we're having, sir, and believe me, I will not and will not from my heart speak and hurt Miss Fernandez's feelings by the words that I've been using. But I have to ask Your Honor for this court's mutual protection also in this matter, because just like at 06:30 this morning, sir, and just like yesterday afternoon when I was doing my lawn, Mrs. Fernandez family member, sir, will stand there and follow me down the fence line. Predatory. It's predatory. I'm asking the court for grace. Miss Fernandez, I'm asking for mercy, sir. But I need protection, sir, also. And I'm asking that today. The things that I have are set before me. It's all I have. My life, financial statements, tax records, my job as IMCOM at Post, the police report, sir. It's all I have. It's all I have, and I need your heart help. And of course, I do not want to hurt Miss Fernandez in her home, her rental home. But I'm telling you, sir, Miss Fernandez and I have the same problem. We have the same problem, sir.
Well, respectfully, she's not coming to me with her problem is frankly, hearing those things from you.
Yes, sir.
That's what she's asking me to
Yes,
resolve,
sir.
right? You haven't filed the petition.
No, sir.
And so that's not in front of me today either.
Yes, sir.
The only thing in front of me, and I'm going to have Mr. Cook and Ms. Fernandez, if you're done.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm going to have Ms. Fernandez and Mr. Cook, we'll start with Mr. Cook, respond to what you just said. And then,
sir, oh, forgive me, sir.
and then I'll make a decision.
Yes, sir.
Go
Sir,
ahead.
may I finish just briefly as far as the contractor?
Yeah, I thought you were done.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Forgive
I'll
me.
let you finish.
On October 31st, sir, when I came off duty, the contractor, sir, had to come out because of Miss Fernandez's family member taking the lawnmower and running it on to the new fence. I needed to protect the fencing, sir. The silt screen that's coming, sir, is not for me. The silt screen is fulfill the duty. It is for whoever lives next to these kind of fences, sir. Okay? That's why the silt screen, it's bought and paid for. The contractor came back out, sir, and put a 3-foot, 100-foot roll plastic contractor fence down that fence line, sir, to protect it until the silt screen comes. It's like I've been talking with the PD, letting them know when the house was painted through the summer, when Joey roofed the shed. Every time I have done something to my home, I've had to suffer for weeks of retaliation from Miss Fernandez's family member. The thing is, sir, that contractor's fence, sir, on October 31st, in my heart, absolutely believe that a nefarious phone call was made, reported right here on this paperwork from the Yale PD, to have, maybe have me arrested so I would be in jail over the weekend and not be able to see a judge until Monday morning. So none of this could be investigated. The fence was removed. The fence is gone. The contractor fence has been stolen, removed, nowhere to be found, sir. Mr. Nichols, Officer Nichols, the one that's been coming out to the calls, sir. I pointed over at the CV camera at the schoolyard that we live across. I let him know that I've petitioned public records. It's right here in this report, sir, for that camera between 1,500 hours, sir, until 2,000 hours to see if anything could be seen on their camera, because it faces our home, sir. It captures everything in our neighborhood. If that fencing, that contractor's fencing, sir, can be seen being stolen and removed, and exactly what happened to it and who did it. Right now, the fence is still.
Hang on, I'm gonna have you stop. We just lost Mr. Cook again. Could you have him come back on, please? I don't want you to say anything until he's back on the Zoom call.
I've texted him, Your Honor. He's a
Thank you.
he's a home health RN, so he's out in rural wherever today. Thank you for your patience. Sorry to hold up the court today.
There you are.
Sorry, Your
You're
Honor.
back.
I tried moving multiple locations. I'm out seeing patients in the community, and I don't know why
Okay.
I have 4 bars of service, so I'm sorry.
Stop right there. Don't move from right there.
No, I'm at a stop sign.
Well, no, you need to be not driving. So
Yes,
I
sir.
want you pulled over and parked.
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, great. But I'd feel better about that if you were eyes on me and not looking around.
Yes, sir.
You may continue, ma'am.
I just wanted to finish very briefly, sir, with the finishing of that investigation of the fence. I absolutely, in my heart, believe, sir, that the only reason I'm here, Ms. Fernandez, is having to address this issue with my foul mouth, and I again apologize to her sincerely, sir, is to cover up the investigation, sir, and the theft of these 2 fences. The first wood fence, finishing very briefly, sir. The first fence has been a shared responsibility that Ms. Fernandez is the homeowner, and that is why, unfortunately, my things have been kind of addressed towards Ms. Fernandez because Ms. Fernandez's family member does not live there. That is her home. So, very briefly, sir, that wooden fence, like I told the Young PD when they stood outside there, there's nothing I can do about that, sir. It's gone. Maybe on Ms. Fernandez's family's property. I don't know. But as far as the one that I have, I need to protect it. That's why that contractor's fence was there. It is gone, sir. Gone. There's no way for me to protect it. I have also with me the letter from the insurance company way previous to this, when I first when the wood fence went missing, because I knew from the behavior all summer long from Ms. Fernandez's family members, sir, that I was going to suffer greatly at his hands, and I have. And that insurance, the letter from my insurance agent, sir, states very simply my concern over my fence and what I need to do to protect it. And that's what I was trying to do. But now, sir, without that contractor fence there waiting, and I believe it's the only reason why I'm here. The investigation of the theft of that fence, that contractor wants his fence back, sir. I had to pay to have that installed to protect, waiting for the second half to fulfill the covenantal responsibility on my half, sir. Whether Ms. Fernandez wants to remain, the lights, sir, let me just briefly end this for me. As far as the daughter is concerned, the 2 times stated, daughter's has only been involved 3 times. I've made a point of it.
I have to tell you though, ma'am, I'm going to stop you there. That's 3 times too many.
Yes, sir.
But go ahead. You can continue.
No problem, sir. With the daughter, I've worked in education. I believe this is an attempt to keep me out of my profession. Lastly, sir, as far as the lights, the only reason Miss Fernandez may be saying now anything about their lights is the way our homes are, sir. They're very close, just that far away with a stone. My lights now, sir, when I pull out my garage to go on duty, sir, yes, they may come out as I'm pulling out of my driveway, sir. The privacy fence that is required in neighborhoods like ours to prevent problems, to prevent things like this, the family member removed, sir, and Miss Fernandez, as the homeowner of that property and is responsible. Miss Fernandez's family member has put a sign up on my fence, sir. I'd like that sign removed today, sir. It's my property. It is what I'm responsible for in my neighborhood. And if you look on the video, you'll see how beautiful mine is. He has again encroached. Miss Fernandez's family member has encroached again, forcing his will, just like with that sign that he has placed there, sir. Miss Fernandez and I, like I said, sir, has not had these problems. And again, I apologize for the language. The only tool I have to protect myself. And again, I'm going to ask the court here today.
What's the only tool you have?
The only tool, sir, that I've been using is a foul mouth, which I apologize again for, sir.
There was reference about a weapon.
Yes, sir. On that particular day, sir, that was another instance with the garbage cans. I was making my lunch. I was getting ready to go on duty. That knife that was said was spreading like you would relish. I was detained and arrested that day, sir, and brought to jail, detained for 4 days. There was no charges. I've never went in front of a judge. I still don't know, sir. I am very new at anything, these kind of settings. I still don't know, sir, what happened. But regardless of that, sir, that is the incident that that Miss Fernandez is speaking about with that knife, sir.
With the knife?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're saying there was no knife?
Well, as I'm yelling at Miss Fernandez's family members, sir, yes, I'm emotional and I have
Or
my,
you are swinging a knife? and
well,
yelling?
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have anything more to say?
No, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to hear from, I guess, Ms. Fernandez, just go in the same order. Do you have any sort of response to what you just heard from Ms.
Yes.
Hauser?
Absolutely, Your Honor. I believe there's some cognitive dissonance that's occurring here.
There's some
For
what now?
cognitive dissonance, as in
Okay,
the sequence of events that Ms. Hauser is referencing are not exactly what has happened. As far as me, yes, coming back to the neighborhood, we have had conversations. I did give her a $250 check. She did refuse that. As far as me saying I'm jealous of her, no, I said I've always envied her yard because she is an absolute, like, perfect green thumb. Her yard is beautiful. I was a single mom at the time. And so I was actually complimenting her. But being jealous of her as a person and herself, no, Your Honor, that is not the truth. Also, when it comes to attacking my 13-year-old, that is why we're here. Once you start escalating, verbally threatening a 13-year-old or a 12-year-old, the degree that there is within that adult person to verbally assault and attack a child, that is beyond the line. I am in the know that Miss Hauser has some severe mental health diagnoses. She has been involuntary, like, incarcerated as she was on April 11th for her mental health. This is in her previous job with the Bethel School District many years ago because she does have this mental health. You know, she has a long history of a childhood trauma, which I'm very sad for her, but I'm trying to prevent that from happening to my daughter. It's unexcusable. I'm going to protect my child at all cost. There is no moving of the garbage cans, Your Honor. We have, like, a large family. My daughter has neurodivergence. She has therapists that come here on a weekly, bi-weekly basis. We need to have parking for them. They often park in the street in front of our house and in front of Miss Hauser's house. Miss Hauser will block them in, park her car in front of theirs. I don't know if this is just, like, again, her territorial thing about moving garbage cans, but there's one little concrete place in between our driveways where people can actually park their cars on the street. So we make sure to leave our recycle and our trash out there. We're very busy individuals. I'm a healthcare provider. I'm a nurse midwife in the community. I work 24-hour shifts. My husband's also in healthcare. As far as my husband's vehicle, his catalytic converter was actually stolen in Tacoma when he went to work. So yes, it is louder now, but it's cost $3,000 to repair. The car isn't even worth $3,000. So it's nothing that we're doing intentionally to Mrs. Hauser. However, I feel like the narrative that she's created in her mind feels as though we are doing this intentionally. We've always tried to keep the peace between us. I'm not sure if it's just because now I have, my husband who's a male in the home. My husband is a very kind, gentle person. He's not doing anything intentionally to harm or irritate Miss Hauser. Miss Hauser actually,
What's the deal on this fence?
yeah, Miss
Yeah.
Hauser actually
Sure.
on, I think it was November.
No, I'm talking to her. If you want to answer the question, let's have the conversation with her. If you want to defer the fence to him, I'll hear from him, but go
Yeah.
ahead, Ms. Fernandez.
On September 30th, Miss Hauser, and Mike can bring this in his own narrative when he gets a chance to talk, but she actually was upset and arguing with Mike about the fence, and then later came to our home, knocked on the door, and was like, "Mr. Michael, can we please talk? Can you please take down that fence?" She had already erected a new fence. She did not ask us to pay for anything. She didn't have a conversation about it. All we know is now there's a new fence. Like, so then she says the fence that's existing is a wooden fence. Can you please take that down, but don't harm my new fence? Can you please make sure that the posts are there? My husband complied with that and he took down the fence per her request. Then I'm on vacation in Nashville with my oldest daughter and she calls me and she's threatening me to take me to court if we don't take down the fence. And I'm like, but you just told my husband to take down the fence and he already took it down. I don't understand. So again, there's like this cognitive dissonance of like what is happening versus what's reality. That's the challenge here. You can't ask for one thing and then go back on your word and when you've requested something, we comply. We try to keep the peace. We want to be neighborly. My husband's Canadian, for goodness sake. Like he neighborly and friendly is like the definition of him.
So that fence you referenced that's up now, that's like the black chain link fence, is that I see in some of the pictures?
Yes, and she put that up. She did not say anything to us
Right.
about it. It was just erected one day and next to the wooden fence that was already there. And granted, yes, the wooden fence, one portion of it was falling over. My husband kind of propped it up because we're like, okay, that's something we need to deal with, right? So we're like, okay, and then next thing you know, she's got this new fence up and we're like, oh, okay. Like we still need to deal with that fence. But then she gets like stuck in her mind on these issues and goes over and over and over them and starts to scream and yell and curse at us. Like that fence is fucking coming down, Mike. And so then she goes off on him and then she comes over like within I don't even know, 10, 15 minutes to have a conversation rationally. So she swings so far from right to left.
All right. Let me hear from Mr. Cook. Mr. Cook, I'll hear from you.
Sure. So a perfect example of the fence is I was propping up the fence, the wooden one that was broken, and then she gets a ladder, goes to the top of her chain link fence, pushes over, the wood that I was using to secure it, and she's like, "Don't touch my effing fence." And then I was like, okay, so I made sure that we had our cameras on because, the police had advised us to always keep our cameras on. So from the time when she was yelling at me about the wooden fence, like my wife said, she came over 10 minutes later, politely knocked on the door, and she's like, "Mr. Michael, can I please talk to you for a second?" And I'm like, okay, this is one of the moments where Sharon is being rational. She's like, I have the new fence up now. The old fence is 19 years old. I know it's rotten. I know it needs to come down, but I can't afford to take care of it. And I said, "Sharon, I would be happy to take care of that fence. I would be happy to take it down. I would be happy to dispose of all that. I will take care of all of that. And I will make sure that it looks nice." And I did that and I made sure to have this on video of her asking my permission, asking me politely to take down the fence. So I did exactly what she said. And then now she's coming after us about the fence that she politely asked me to take down after she was screaming and yelling at me. I mean, that's like a perfect example of the irrational. And mowing, the only time I walk up and down the fence, sir, is when I take the lawnmower and I mow. And then I take our leaf blower and I purposely blow it away from her property. I'm hyper careful not to irritate her. I blow everything away from her property with our leaf blower. I make sure to keep our yard nice. Like I try very hard to keep a very nice yard and not irritate Sharon. I mean, we lock our doors during the day. We keep our blinds closed. We do everything we can to limit interactions with her so we don't get attacked. And then have her come back 10 minutes later, perfectly rational. I mean, like my wife said, she definitely has some divergence, and that is just an ongoing issue. And I don't know why she has an issue with me personally, maybe because it's male, maybe, I don't know, sir, but she does not want me anywhere near Shanine or the house, or it's just unfortunate. And I do need to take care of my daughter, and I do need to go see patients, sir. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I do have
I
patients.
need you here for a few more minutes.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
Don't leave just yet.
Yes.
And then, so Ms. Hauser, I'll give you the final word here.
Briefly, on the escalation of
You
that.
keep saying that.
Yes, sir,
okay.
Briefly, on the escalation of that fence. When I came home from work, sir, again, homeowner nowhere to be found. I came home, sir, with a ladder. The panel pushed up and pinched up against my chain link fence. I stood on the back of my pickup truck and pushed the ladders away and told Miss Fernandez, a family member, "I don't think so." The next day when I came home, same thing. Pushed him away again. Mr. Cook is outside on the back of the porch hollering out my name. So I go out there. He was asking for permission to take down that fence, and I'm asking him to get the homeowner. No homeowner comes back out. I go back into the house. I do go over there, Your Honor, because all through the rest of the summer, especially with the child's book that I received from the library for him, went over there and asked him, "What do you want done?" with this fence. I know that you're concerned about those 2 panels. So here again, Your Honor, I'm trying to bring peace. As far as never having the conversation with the original chain link fence, they've left out the fact that I did go over there before all of the summer drama started. Let them know that I was going to put up a chain link fence on my side though, and that the wood fence still needed to be remained to fulfill the covenant of our privacy, of our neighborhood. So the facts that they've given you, sir, they're not correct. That is what correctly happened with that fence, as the wind is now blowing and the panels are now leaning further on Miss Fernandez's side. And that's how they chose to deal with it. That's what happened with that fence. And it has escalated. This has only been going on, Your Honor, now over these last couple of weeks, because the escalation of that fence being removed, me calling the contractor to have the contractor put up the 3-foot one to protect mine until the silk cream's done to fulfill my duties. I knew that it was going to escalate to this, and this is exactly what it's escalated to, and that's why I'm here today. The theft of that wood fence and the theft of that contractor's fence, sir, to cover it up and to prevent me from fulfilling my duty. I again apologize for my foul mouth to Ms. Fernandez. It's a tool to protect and defend myself against the forced encroachments like the sign and the garbage can, the parking, the peeking in the windows of this man.
Okay, so ma'am, and I'm ready to rule here on this case. You know, first of all, one thing I noticed that I haven't mentioned before now, and you say, well, this is all about offense, a fairly recent occurrence. That's not actually accurate. This is the 4th time we've been here between you folks. You know, this is the 4th time they've been asking for an order, going back to February of 2024. That's coming up on 2 years ago. So this is that tells me that this has actually been going on for a long time. And Mr. Cook was involved in that as well. And so, you know, people can park on the street. You know, I heard what she said about the catalytic converter, which I know is an issue, which may create the car might be louder than normal. But on the other hand, your response to that, the way that you agreed, apparently it's at least somewhat of how you interacted and how you responded, and the names that you've called Ms. Fernandez, now involving somehow her child and all, or their child in all of this. You know, that I find that does rise to the level of harassment. And the only thing in front of me here today is whether or not an order is going to be entered for those 2. And I am going to enter an order. There's not going to be a distance restriction. You're just not to talk to them. They're just not a part of your life for the next year. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Sure.
And so that way there's no good talk, no bad talk, just no talking. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You can go on about your business and they can go on about theirs. And, you know, having said that, you know, that doesn't affect your ability to use your property the way, you know, you want to use. If you think you have an action against them for some offense, you can pursue that. But, you know, I'm not making any rulings on that. You're just not to contact them. Don't, I mean, as far as you can, don't look at them, but that's not good, but don't interact with them. Don't, and that's based on the pattern of, you know, again, by your own admission, you know, things and terrible things that you've referred to Ms. Fernandez as well as your interaction with Mr. Cook, and given the emotional situations where you're waving a knife around, that would give anyone pause, I would think. And so, given that pattern that's existed over the years, I find that an order is appropriate, and it'll be in place for 1 year from today. If you wait for a minute, we'll give you a copy, and then after that, you're free to go.
Your Honor, would that, will I still be able to fulfill that silk screen on that?
Ma'am, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm frank. I mean, I will be frank with you. I had a really tough time following what you meant by all that. I mean, you know, if it's an improvement to your property or something you do under the covenants, yeah, the only thing this order does is keep you from talking to them. That's all.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the covenants. I don't know anything about what's required there, or anything like that. But no, this just makes you stay away from them. That's all.
Okay.
Because I get the feeling that they really don't want to have any contact with you. I believe that based on my observing Ms. Fernandez, Mr. Cook, and you. They just want to be done with all of this. And hopefully you want the same thing.
That's correct.
And then if you comply with this order, then that would be true.
Thank you,
That
sir.
would, okay. And then a copy of this, you guys can get a copy of this off the Thurston County District Court website. And you're all free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, next we have Leonard Blatt. Morning, Mr. Blatt.
Morning, pleasure to be here.
Mr. Blatt, you filed various motions to dismiss the drive with suspended license third degree against you. I've read all of it. And again, we are getting kind of late in the morning here. Is there anything you'd like to say that is different from what, or that you'd like to highlight from the motions that you filed?
Well, first, may I ask the court to identify yourself and the prosecutor?
Certainly. I'm Court Commissioner Jacob Stillwell.
Uh-huh.
And prosecutor today is Ford Libby, Rule 9, supervised by Rosemary Fitzgerald.
Okay. Yes. When the officer stopped me, he asked me for paperwork and simply accused me of a paperwork violation. He asked for three things: license, proof of insurance, and registration. Anyone who's engaged in a potentially hazardous activity like operating a motor vehicle has to have his paperwork in order, especially insurance, because he can cause damage with his car. Excuse me. Same thing is true with yourself, because being a judge is a potentially hazardous occupation because it involves violence. No one can be put in a jail cell without unwanted touching. And a lot of damage can come to people if a judge does something wrong. And as a person who has been through a family court and witnessed how unprofessional and out of control the judiciary is here in Washington, and I think you know that the reputation of the legal system in Washington is very bad. I mean, even at one point, the federal government had to come in and supervise and babysit the police because they weren't being controlled.
So I'm going to just try to frame what I'm looking for. Because again, I did read what you briefed, and so maybe it would be helpful if sort of I outlined my thinking here. I'll give you a chance to respond. I'll give the chance for the city of Tumwater as well to weigh in here. But let me just kind of start where I'm at. That sounds good.
Sure.
All right, because I know a lot of your arguments are sort of based on sort of overall authority to enforce these laws against you. So I'll sort of start there. The Revised Code of Washington, which is the state legal code that is applicable here to criminal offenses related to driver's license. It provides at RCW 4620-342 that it's unlawful for anyone to drive a motor vehicle in the state while the person has a suspended or revoked driver's license. The allegations against you is that you were driving a motor vehicle on a public road with a suspended driver's license. Now, those are still allegations against you. That hasn't been proven. But the city of Tumwater is within its authority to pursue that prosecution because you were allegedly driving a car with a suspended license. And so I know you've raised a number of concerns around that. One of them being, right to travel. You have the right to travel. You don't have a right in any particular mode of travel. So driving a car does trigger certain legal requirements.
Excuse me. I've been in this court already, I think this is the 5th time, and each time I've heard the judge make the arguments that the prosecutor is supposed to make. In other words, the judge has been prosecuting. May I get back on track, because I was making a point. I was heading toward a point when you asked to interject.
Sure.
Okay, so we need to take care of some preliminary matters first. Just as I had to produce paperwork when an officer saw me what he believed to be engaged in privileged activity, you need your paperwork in order too. And I just need to verify that your paperwork is in order. I am eager to argue my motions, and I'm eager to hear the prosecutor's response. But first, we need to know if you have your license to operate, which is your oath of office. That's analogous to a driver's license. It's because nobody has a right to be a judge. It's a privilege. And also your bond, your official bond through a surety company is analogous to an insurance for a driver. Because if I'm injured in the course of these proceedings, I need to know that I can be compensated. So
You are welcome to file a public records request asking for any documentation around my authority as the court commissioner or anyone else in the.
right, and I couldn't do that because I didn't know who would appear today as a judge. I mean, I asked before and I couldn't get a clear answer. Also, your bond is supposed to be filed with the county clerk. And with your permission, I mean, I want to make it easy for you. Don't want to make you produce it for me. I could go around the corner to the same building here and verify that your bond is filed with sufficient sureties.
So we're not going to do that today for relevancy purposes here. Because what's relevant here is not anything related to me. It's related to allegations against you driving.
It absolutely is relevant to you because it's all about whether you have jurisdiction, and you don't have jurisdiction without your oath of office timely filed and a bond with sufficient sureties. And I have a pocket brief here that I'll give you the court and a copy to the prosecutor to show you.
I'm going to stop you again, and I don't mean to interrupt here, but you have the opportunity to look at those documents. If you're able to find documents in any way, indicating that we don't have the proper authority here to operate as a court in this case, you're welcome to get those documents and present them. But we're not, during the course of the prosecution, going to chase down every indication without any supported evidence that something's amiss here. So if you have something through a public records request, you're able to bring it. But we're not going to chase down all of those arguments as they pop up. We're not going to play whack-a-mole necessarily with arguments being made without evidence.
So if I told the officer who stopped me that I have a driver's license, I have insurance, trust me, it's your job to go look for it, not mine to produce it. What do you think he would have done?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Well, we all know what he would have done. He would have said that, don't cut it.
So these are all comments that you made in your briefing. So I'm going to, again, remind you, I've read those arguments that you made.
I'm going to give a copy of my pocket brief showing that the judge and prosecutor both require bonding and insurance. And with your permission.
If you have evidence that there hasn't been proper bonding, you can certainly bring it.
Well, that's my evidence, my testimony here.
Right. Well, you're not alleging it hasn't happened.
I am alleging it hasn't happened.
What evidence?
I am alleging that.
What evidence?
With your permission, I'll give the court a copy of the pocket brief I just gave to the prosecutor.
Sure. But then I'm going to turn it over to the prosecutor to have an opportunity to respond.
Isn't it my turn to present my motions?
Yes, and you have, and you.
No, I have not.
You have. You provided written motions. You've been given some time to sort of summarize what your arguments are here. So we also want to hear from both sides.
I need to make a statement for the record so the appellate court can understand.
Well, it's 11:33. You got till 11:40. And I'm going to turn it over to the city time.
Well, if the prosecutor wants you to take 3 months out of my life, you have to give me enough time because the taxpayers are going to pay for this. You see, when the officer first stopped me, it was mistakenly thought that I would pay the $66 fine or however how much it is. And what's going to happen is the opposite. The plaintiff is going to house me, clothe me, feed me, take care of all my needs, medical needs and everything. And I'll get to watch television. I love to watch television. And I love to kick back and relax. And that's what's ultimately going to happen. But we're going to go through due process first. I won't be denied due process. So every district judge, this is RCW 3.34.080. Every district judge pro tempore, and district court commissioner shall, before entering upon the duties of office, take an oath to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Washington. And as far as bonds, every judge of a municipal court, before entering upon the duties of office shall take and subscribe the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Washington. The judge shall also give such bonds to the state and city for the faithful performance of the judge's duties as may be by law, ordinance, or directed. The prosecutor's bond, every county official before he or enters upon the duties of his or her office shall furnish a bond condition that he will faithfully perform the duties of his or her office. Prosecuting attorney shall file it in the amount of $5,000 with sureties to be approved by the proper county legislative authority. Tumwater police officers also have to have a bond, and that's RCW 35A.12.080. As far as, so it's very, very important. It's not just a joke or something that's not important. It's very important that you have an oath of office on file, because from what I've observed in this court and many, many courts throughout the last 40 years living in this state, that judges hate to follow the Constitution. They despise it. So I need to ascertain that you have a timely filed oath of office. Now, I did make a public disclosure request for all the judges that might be operating in this court, and I have them here. I want to make sure your name is on it. I have an oath of office for a John Tunheim. It's not you, right?
Remind you to, you've got till 11:40. It's 11:36.
What if it takes longer?
Because sir, I'm telling you again, I've read what you've written, and you're frankly not making arguments that are relevant to your prosecution. You're allowed to speak, but unless if you have evidence and if you have evidence there that you wanted to present to the court, you should look at it beforehand and then make an allegation.
I did.
You're reading through the response to your public records act.
You said I should make a public disclosure request for your oath of office and bond, and that's what I've done. And here I'm going through it.
Right, you should go through it before the hearing.
Well, I didn't know who you were until I just sat down here.
Well,
I didn't know who the prosecutor was.
Your Honor, I don't want to belabor the point, but just to make sure that we're being as effective as possible here, this just falls outside of the scope of today's hearing.
No, it does not, because my brief addresses the importance of obeying the Constitution of the United States and the state of Washington.
And I can tell you, I have my oath of office. I took it a couple of weeks ago. Granted, I'm newer here, but I took it in this very room.
Well, I could not find it unless it's here, because I was given all the oaths of every judge that could possibly be working here. That's what I requested. I also have an oath of office for, it's John Tunham again. He gave me a few. As far as bonds,
just so you know.
as far as bonds, Joel L. LaPierre is supposed to have a bond. That's not you though, right? What is your bonding number? Okay, so before we can proceed, we have to take care of this preliminary matter.
That's not true.
Well,
You are welcome to bring evidence that I'm not a correct judicial officer for this, but again, we're not going to play whack-a-mole.
well, you're supposed to prove it to me, just like I was supposed to prove it to the officer that stopped me, that my paperwork was in order before engaging in a privileged activity.
I certainly believe that, but that's not the law.
You don't, can you cite the law then?
No, you're asking me to cite a law that doesn't exist. A judicial officer does not need to present their bonding number to every defendant.
But you need to have a bonding number, and we've determined that you don't. I requested the bonding information and the oaths of office of every judicial officer that could be working in this court, and they gave it to me all here, but your name doesn't appear to be on it.
Well,
That's prima facie evidence that you don't have an oath of office or bond.
well, then you can file a motion on that specific question if you'd like, but you've got 2 more minutes for this morning.
Okay, I'd like to file that motion right now.
You don't have it. You got to go file a motion.
I can make a verbal motion. I can make it orally. Do you want me to find the RCW, the statute that allows me to make it orally?
Sure, and then you can go and you'd have to, well, I can't give you legal advice, but.
You gave me a lot of legal advice
I'm
today.
explaining what the law is.
The prosecutor said nary a word.
You got one more, well, because we've been giving you a chance to speak, and you've got 1 more minute before we're turning it over.
Well, I have to determine whether we have jurisdiction here.
No, that's not up to you.
Well, it's up to you, but you're not making a decision on it.
Because we do have jurisdiction. I'm telling you, I have an oath of office.
But that's not enough. Me telling the police officer I have a driver's license is not enough.
The allegations that you did not have a valid driver's license.
Yeah, a surgeon telling his licensing authority, I have a license, without proving it is not enough. We have prima facie evidence here that you don't have an oath of office or bonding. And the Constitution, you say you have an oath of office, well, that means you swore to uphold the Constitution. And the Constitution requires you to have an oath of office timely filed. And RCW Title 42 says if you don't have it timely filed, you're not lawfully in office. That means that you can't preside over this hearing.
And to the extent you want an answer right now, I'm denying that motion. If you want to file something in writing that goes into that in more detail and provides some kind of evidence that I don't have authority, you're able to do that. I don't know when you made your public records request. It might have been before I took my oath of office, but we're out of time for your arguments at this
What is,
point.
how do you spell your name?
STI.
STI.
LL.
LL.
WE.
WE.
LL.
LL.
First name Jacob with a C.
Okay. I'm going to not participate in an unlawful hearing. So I'm going to go over to the clerk's office and try to get your oath of office and bond. And if they have it, I'll be back here and let's proceed. I'm actually eager to do so.
Well, we're gonna have to file a motion. We're not gonna probably be here anymore when you come back. We close up at noon.
You don't operate after lunchtime at all?
Now the calendar's gonna end at noon. So if you find something, you can file a motion, but we're not gonna stay open just so you can go do the public records.
Okay, well, I came here at 9 o'clock because I thought things would start then and I had to endure watching all this.
So we're out of time at this point.
So that's what I'm going to do because I'm not going to participate in an unfair hearing where there's no jurisdiction. I will
So
file another
those are
motion.
your final comments here, because we gotta move on.
My final comments are this. We're going to assume that you don't have an oath of office timely filed or bonding. So you can't proceed over this hearing.
If you can
It's
go get
simple.
evidence of that, you can come back, but until then, we're gonna, unless the prosecutor has anything to say.
Okay, so then since I object,
Sir, I'm moving it over to the prosecutor.
so since I'm wait, I have a right to make my motions.
You
I have a right to
have-
argue my motions.
Sure.
I brought this hearing,
I understand.
not the
we're going to
prosecutor.
move on.
I brought this hearing, not the prosecutor.
We're going to move on.
So I'm going to ask you to recuse yourself since you're not, well,
All right, well, if there's been a request for recusal, perhaps I won't be here at the next hearing, but that's gonna be it for today, okay? Free to go. Well, sir, we're also here set for trial confirmation. You have a jury trial set.
I haven't even asked for plea yet.
Well, you don't have to. I mean, the state is moving forward. Probable cause has been found. You've elected to represent yourself against.
I am myself. I don't represent myself. I am myself.
Well, are you ready to proceed to trial on November 17th?
First, I have to be advised of the nature and cause of action and enter a plea. And I have to verify that the judge, which keeps rotating, is lawfully in office. I mean, I'm not trying to throw monkey wrenches in this or anything or give you a hard time. I'm just trying to require due process.
You were arraigned on June 26th, 2023. Determination of probable cause was found.
Your Honor, just to,
Well, you said I'm free to leave and you're not lawfully in office, so I'm going to leave.
well, Your Honor, if the defendant's gonna walk out, I would request a bench warrant be issued if he's just gonna walk out of his own trial confirmation.
Sir, are you here with him? Is that the two of you speaking? I was asking if the two of you were here together.
I can't hear.
Were you here with Mr. Blatt?
I don't have a case here.
Okay, were you here with Mr. Blatt, who was just up here?
I can't really hear you. I'm getting a hearing.
Why are you here?
But I haven't had all the tests yet.
Why are you here in court today?
Oh, I'm just here to observe.
With Mr. Black?
Very interesting. I watched the body language.
Okay.
I watched the behavior count on YouTube, and I'm watching this video to watch the body language.
All right. Thank you,
Very
sir.
interesting.
Okay, thank you,
Can I
sir.
go
You're free to
now?
go. Yes. All right. So the request is a bench warrant for, I don't know if I can issue a bench warrant for failure to appear. If he doesn't show up for the jury trial,
Okay.
I think at that point, there might be grounds, but.
Well, then I guess the state would just ask to keep the trial dates and proceed from there. And Your Honor, I believe you are clear, but just for the record, I know there's been a lot of talks about public records today. If we could just have a ruling on the defendant's motion today.
Yes, to the extent I wasn't clear, I'm denying the defendant's motions to dismiss all of that have been filed, and trial appears to have been confirmed. There's no unequivocal suggestion to the contrary, so we'll keep the jury trial dates as currently set.
Your Honor, the state would request that the court still order the panel at that. We would ask to go forward with the trial date at that time. If the defendant is not present for the trial date, the state would likely renew its motion for a warrant.
That makes sense.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And so, Mr. Fallick, are you ready on Mr. McKenzie?
Yes, Attorney Katz is here. He's going to put his appearance on the record for Mr. McKenzie's case.
Okay. All right. Let's go on the record in the matter of the residences on Pine versus Sandy McKenzie, 2501895.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sidney Katz on behalf of plaintiff.
All right. Thank you. And Mr. McKenzie, your name for the record, please.
Sandy James McKenzie.
I'm sorry, your first name did not come through. Can you try that one more time, please?
Sandy James McKenzie.
All right, thank you. And counsel, you had an opportunity to speak to Mr. McKenzie, correct?
Did not, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is an interesting case. We were in front of you around 2 or 3 months ago on a case with Mr. McKenzie for a different unit. In that case, my client had some repair issues. They had third-party contractors there. And part of what they allowed Mr. McKenzie to do is utilize the bathroom in the unit that he is currently in order to finalize the repairs because he had a one-bathroom apartment. I actually told my clients to offer him a hotel room, but they said it's more convenient for him to just move it, to have them use the bathroom across the hallway. Mr. McKenzie and his family decided now to take over that unit, and my client can't get them out. While they were evicted out of the prior unit with a balance of around $8,000, Mr. McKenzie is now in this new unit.
Consent judgment. There's a consent judgment. We did a consent judgment on that one. So, okay. So, Mr. McKenzie then, okay. Is Mr. McKenzie's unit being repaired?
It was repaired, Your Honor. It was finalized by a third party, but he never ended up paying his balance, and he ended up getting evicted out of the other unit, which was no problem for him because now he just lives in the unit across the hall, which was only authorized for the purpose of using it for the bathroom, Your Honor.
Mr. McKenzie, was there an eviction on the unit you were previously in, sir, that this court entered?
So I got evicted
Sir,
because
sir, it's a yes or no answer. Now, I'm not asking for an explanation right now. Did you receive an eviction notice to relocate out of the apartment, the unit that you're originally in that was being repaired? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So how did you end up across the hall in that unit? Do you have a lease for that unit?
Okay, I'm not across the hall. I'm downstairs. I'm in the unit beneath the unit that I was in. And the reason that I'm here is because they put me in here because they were fixing mine upstairs. We didn't have a bathroom. He didn't say nothing about no hotel. They put us in here to come and fix the units that's there. You ordered them to fix all of those things. If you remember, the reason why I got evicted is because I missed one court date. I asked you to make it another time. I said any other day but that day. because I'm a truck driver and I'm driving from Florida to here. I wasn't in Michigan. I missed that court date. You awarded them a default judgment, and that's
Hold
how
on,
I
sir.
got.
Just a moment. You're here on Zoom today, correct?
Yes.
Well, then you
Mrs.
certainly could.
Yeah.
You certainly could have appeared on Zoom while you were still out of state. There wasn't anything
did
that
say
required
that.
you otherwise.
I
Do you have,
asked you.
sir? Do you have a hat on your head?
What?
Do you have a hat on your head?
No, I don't have a hat on.
Oh, okay. I can't tell because it's the lighting is. It's
That's my. It's the light on the back of the shade.
okay.
The reason why I did this is because I wasn't here, and then you awarded them a default victory, and they then just never fixed their apartment, and then they say, "Well, we sent me the eviction notice, right?"
Okay.
This
Pause.
apartment
Here's what we're doing.
not-
We're doing an in-person hearing. We will set this for an in-person hearing next Monday.
Miss Judge, Miss Your Honor.
Yes.
Can we please, just like last time, Mondays are a very bad day for me. I have to work. Can we we can do any other day?
Great. We'll do it this Friday. We'll move it to this Friday.
Okay.
Your Honor, do you know what time that would be?
9 a.m.
Okay.
Bring all the documents from the prior matter as well. And all of the information regarding the repairs from the prior unit that Mr. McKenzie was evicted from.
Okay. And Your Honor, I did have a conversation with Mr. McKenzie, and I told him that he was going to be moved into a hotel. We had a conversation, Mr. McKenzie and I. It was very clear that I was going to inform my client that he would move into a hotel while the repairs were.
Stop. Counsel, this is something that we are going to address Friday at 9 a.m. Okay. Bring all the documentation, bring all of the information from the last matter a couple months ago, all of that, all the information on the repairs that were to have been done. Counsel, this is something that we are going to address Friday at 9 a.m. Bring all the documentation. You can pause the live stream, whatever you're watching, you can pause that. Or turn it down or what have you.
Does that mean I can bring my videos and everything that I have to show?
You want this court to take into consideration, sir? That's evidence. The court, then you will have to bring that at that time. So we'll see you Friday at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
In person.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day. All right, so let's go on the record in the matter of the City of Riverview versus Terrell McClellan, 251446.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Stuckey, apparently after my client will close.
Good morning. Okay, thank you for your patience, sir. And counsel says the date scheduled for the arraignment pretrial on this matter.
Is the arraignment way forward, my client's this year?
For away the formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty for purpose of the arraignment. And ask the pretrial.
Your Honor, my client prepared to enter a guilty plea to elective include charge with no operators licensed on person and the reduced civil infraction of proof of the show.
Okay, when you have you please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm testimony about to give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And you heard the plea that was placed on the record, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
As to the amended charge of no operator's license on person, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And as the amended charge with no proof of insurance, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Sorry, responsible or not responsible on that one?
Responsible.
And you've gone over your advice of rights with your attorney, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand all of those rights.
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand by entering into a plea that you'll be waiving some of those rights.
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea, whether in this court, any other court, or administrative agency.
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing all of that, do you want to continue with your plea?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything, threatened you, or coerced you in any way for you to enter into a plea?
No, Your Honor.
And any immigration issue?
No, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, if you can please ready your client.
Like strict detention is September 30th, 2025. Are you operating a vehicle in the city of Riverview? All right, at some point you were pulled up by a marked police officer, correct? Yes, sir. And when asked.
I'm sorry, are you picking Bobby out now? Okay, and you just keep your volume up, sir, so our recorder can get your answers on the record.
You were pulled over by a police officer, accurate? Right. And at some point you were asked to provide a valid driver's license. Correct. You weren't able to do so because your license was currently suspended. Right. Satisfied, Your Honor.
The court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the amended charges, dismiss the original charges per the plea agreement, and counsel as to sentencing.
Your Honor, my client came here timely. It's not a position where he has any open warrants for his arrest, not probation. Custody, admonishment, fraud, and fines, no probation, no jail, no payment.
All right, so sir, what's the status of your license?
Suspended active.
Right at the moment.
Yes.
So how did you get here right at the moment?
No, I was dropped off.
And who dropped you off?
My girlfriend.
Your girlfriend. Where do you work?
I just moved back to Detroit from Arizona, so I'm looking for employment still.
Okay. And how long were you in Arizona?
Like 7 years.
What brought you back to Michigan, especially right now when we just got snow?
I lost my grandma last year, and I'm out there by myself, so I just want to come back. I'm also a single father. I live with my kids out there, so we just want to come back and a little bit more help with them. And I've kind of been empty without my grandma, so I'm got other family to help with that.
Okay. All right. That's understandable, sir. And so how do you get your kids back and forth to school and otherwise?
Their school is around the corner. They go to Huntington Elementary. I'm like 4 blocks away, so we walk.
Okay. So then the address we have for you then is not accurate.
Yeah, we just got a Huntington. Like a couple of days before I was actually put up.
I believe he filed a device right, so he.
Yep. I will write that new address down.
Yeah. And also the address is still correct. That is,
I'm sorry?
I say that is a relative address on Kenfield as well.
Okay. Yeah. So that's not going to work.
Yeah, no.
I need to know where you live. So I'm going to have you, Dave, can you hand this to Mr. McClellan so he can put his new address on there? Thank you. Okay. Your client's filling that out. Counsel, was your client valid at all in Arizona?
I think so, that.
The suspension appears to go all the way back to 2016. Oh, what's happening with your felony matter in circuit court, sir?
I'm taking care of that. I was at court with them this morning before I came here. That's all being handled. I actually had to be not guilty, so we're taking that to trial. I have 3 subject courses coming up. I will be able to update you after those 6 days.
Okay. When did you move back to Michigan?
Maybe few months from now.
Well, you seem to have been pretty busy because in the 3 months you've been back, you have a charge out of Detroit, the felony matter that you just spoke of, another matter out of Detroit that was dismissed, and then you have something pending out of Benzie County up in Cadillac. So, sir, okay, I need an apartment number. You don't just live at the address, do you?
I'm sorry, I was listening to you.
I know. What's your apartment number?
144.
Okay, so, sir, are you out on bond in any other jurisdictions?
Yes, I am, I believe.
Okay, what about Benzie County up there near Cadillac?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you mean it was taken it? Okay, well, that's not your zip code, sir. Your zip code is 48192, just so you know.
Yes, ma'am, I just
193. Okay. And so you didn't get here. Or you keep your hands on your pockets, please. You didn't drive here? You're sure about that?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you getting back home? All right. And so your kids walk to school in the snow?
No. Well, it just snowed before they actually at home now because I'm going to get them some outfits like this and some Timberlands today, but they didn't go to school. They had to the first snow day was yesterday, so it was
right. Okay. All right. And so And what kind of car do you have, sir?
Well, we drive a GMC R.
Acadia? All right, so the Acadia is not out in the parking lot?
No.
And the Ford Fusion's not in the parking lot?
Fusion was next door.
Is where?
It's next door.
Next door.
It's not huge.
Where's it next door at?
I think it's in the parking lot, but it's next door. I was dropped off though. So on the way here,
Okay, sir, come on
on the
now.
way here, I didn't know that I had.
So somebody dropped you off carrying a car on the back?
No, we were commuting. I left the car with my car. I didn't know that this was gonna be an issue, so I was drive home. I was getting followed here. So I was on my way to buy a vehicle. I didn't know that I had court. So he called me in the middle of going to buy a vehicle. I was being followed in a pickup truck by my brother. Me and my
Sir, you were not dropped off. You're not dropped off. You're not allowed to drive a car. You have to take care of your matter from 2016. And then it seems as though you can probably get your license back. So instead of buying Timberlands, right, buy some less expensive shoes and go pay off your tickets.
That's what I was in court about today. I'll take it back. I was going to say, you're right, man. You're 100% right. It's one or two tickets. There's no reason I should have my license.
And there's no reason you should be driving.
I'm in full responsibility. I'm responsible.
There's no reason you should be lying to me. $300 fine on the no ops, $200 cost, crime victim assessment fee of $75, justice system assessment fee of $50, total of $625 on the no ops. And then there's $175 on the no proof of insurance. That's a total of $800. That's a lot of money, sir. And you have to pay off other tickets, right? What kind of payment plan?
The best one that you can give me, honestly. I do want to take care of the license ticket, so I can take care of that, so I can get back and forth up here with you.
I don't know what your situation is, sir, financially. So what can you pay per month?
What's the minimum payment?
Throw a number out.
$10.
And just
No, it has to be a little bit more than that, sir.
my clarification, I thought the maximum penalty on a no operator's license person was $100, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought that's allowing a licensed driver to drive perhaps. I don't think on a no ops. Do you have the statute handy, counsel, the statute number handy? I can pull that up.
I don't.
Okay. Let's see. I don't believe for no operator's license that that's the maximum fine, but I could be very wrong.
I'm just gonna.
Okay, I apologize. It is $100. So that one is $100. All right. So the fine is $100. So your attorney just saved you $200, sir. Because there's still the costs and the state and the crime victim assessment fee and justice system assessment fee. So the total is $600. Can you pay $50 per month?
We got to.
When can you begin that?
You give them till next month to start. If not, that's fine.
Friday, December 12th. That's four weeks from this Friday.
I'm taking my pocket and put that on my calendar.
I'm sorry?
Taking my pocket and put that on my.
You sure can. You can also dig in your pocket to make sure your keys are going to be somewhere that you're not driving the car. If you are driving that car out of the parking lot, sir, you will be arrested.
I don't have any keys on them.
Well, so are they sitting in the car?
I will not be driving when I leave. I'm catching a lift out of here.
Well, that's what you said. You also said you didn't drive here, and you did drive here. So, did you leave the keys in the car? Is that what you did, sir?
Yeah, it's a judge's question. Your Honor, my client indicates that he's not going to be driving the vehicle. I don't know where his keys are at. I don't know where his vehicle's at, but he understands he's going to be watched. So at this point, I would strongly advise him to follow through with what he indicated.
You can stop at the window to get information about paying online so that you don't have to worry about getting a ride back this way, sir. do not drive out of the parking lot, any of the parking lots, and do not drive anymore. You don't want to be arrested with your kids in the car, do you? All right, then stop. Stop. Get legal, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Well,
All right. Have a good day. All right, let's go on the record in the matter of the city of Wyandotte versus Rose Tucker, 251565.
that's not this Tucker.
No, sorry, that's not Ms. Tucker, Ms. Wilkerson.
Good.
City of Wyandotte versus Lanaya Wilkerson, 251566.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Christopher Shucky, Brady up on file. It's time we wait for me to get my license.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wilkerson, your name for the record, please.
Lanaya Wilkerson.
Lanaya, okay. And counsel, your client's in custody and ask the arraignment.
Will we wait for more reading our client's statement?
Waive formal reading, enter plea of not guilty for purpose of the arraignment as to we'll schedule this matter for pretrial on November 19th at 10:45 a.m. As to bond counsel.
Your Honor, my client's 21 years old. She's not on probation. She has any pending cases. Judge, briefly, the case indicates that she was at a location. She was intoxicated, but she is 21. She was trying to find the correct location and she was on someone else's porch. I don't think she's a flight risk. She was very sincere and contrite in our dialogue. I would ask for a personal bond considering the lack of history and the nature of the case itself.
All right, thank you. Ma'am, where do you work?
Eastern Market.
Okay, and what do you do there?
Trim meat.
And who do you reside with, ma'am?
I'm homeless at the moment.
Okay, and so you don't live on Marlowe Street?
No, that my daughter's dad do. I used to live there, but not anymore.
I'm sorry, whose address is that?
My daughter's dad
Okay, where does your daughter live?
with them.
And how long have you not resided there, ma'am?
About 2-3 weeks.
You don't have any family members or friends you can stay with, ma'am?
Yeah, that's who I've been staying with, a friend, but no family, no.
Are you going to appear in court, ma'am? If you're released?
Yes.
If you're at a test, ma'am, what's in your system?
Weed, alcohol.
Anything else?
Um,
All right, the court's going to, given that your client does not have stable housing, the court is going to order a low cash bond of $2,500, 10% bond, just to ensure that she is going to appear because we don't have a way to find her if she doesn't appear. The court's going to also order no contact with the complaining witness in this matter, Mr. McQueen, Anthony McQueen, and you're not to return to his property as well. Do you know Mr. McQueen?
no, I was there for Joseph Ross.
She is just the wrong address. She has no.
Okay,
What's her next court date, Judge?
the 19th.
Your Honor, if possible, I don't believe she'll post that bond. Would it be feasible to put her court date on Wednesday, the 12th? If I put that here, I'm going to be asking for a civil infraction.
I don't know if we can.
Like, sir, as I don't.
Can we do it that early now, Allie? That quickly?
I believe with misdemeanors, it just has to be seen before 14 days.
Right, I'm just saying, do we have time for the next, within 2 days, since we don't have a docket tomorrow?
We could do. They do it at 8:45.
Okay, what did you want to say, ma'am?
You were saying like that you wanted to extend it because you don't know if I'm going to show in court. I promise you I won't miss that court date, and I can find somewhere to stay so that I can give you an address. I will go back with my daughter's dad if I have to.
Why aren't you living there right now, ma'am? Why are you no longer living there?
Because me and him no longer together. But he would let me stay there if I needed somewhere to go.
All right, well, then we'll put you back. Well, you should stay there then, ma'am. The court's going to amend it to be a $5,000 personal bond. We'll keep it on November 19th at 10:45.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Have a good day. Okay. All right, the court is on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Rose Tucker, 251565.
And if I may, Your Honor, Edward Holberg on behalf of the defendant. For arraignment purposes, Your Honor, we stand mute with a formal reading. I did go over the defendant's constitutional rights with her, and she did sign the advice rights as well.
Okay, are you retained in this counsel?
I am here.
Okay. I noticed your appearance, so I wanted to. Ma'am, your name for the record, please.
Rose Tucker.
All right. And the court will waive the formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment. Schedule this matter for pretrial November 19th. 10:45 a.m. And ask to bond counsel.
I would request a personal bond, Your Honor. Defendant has absolutely no criminal history at all. Was cooperative. She's as a longstanding resident of Grosse Ile. I've known the defendant for 20-something years. I've known her father longer than that, and her brother longer than that. My brother actually is a member of the bar as well, as of today, this morning. That being said, this morning.
Oh, well, congratulations.
That being said, we would request a personal bond in this matter. She is employed, again, longstanding from Grosse Ile. I've known her 20-something years.
All right, ma'am, where do you work?
DBC America.
I'm sorry?
Where you asked where I worked.
Yes.
DBC America. It's a marketing company.
Yes. Okay. And have you ever failed to appear in court for any reason?
No.
And you're not on probation or parole anywhere, are you?
No.
And are you currently out on bond in any other jurisdiction?
No, I'm not.
And other than alcohol, would there be anything else detected in your system, ma'am, if you were to test today?
Marijuana.
Do you have a valid prescription for marijuana?
No, I do not.
All right. And you're able to post a bond, ma'am?
We'd request a personal bond as well, Your Honor, just only if a family, the brother got sworn in and had a ceremony, and they're not able to post any money immediately. I can guarantee she's gonna be out to drive her myself to court. Like I said, I've known the family 20-something years.
All right, the court's going to order a $7,500 personal bond based on the allegation of the levels, ma'am, of a 0.195. The court's going to order you not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. That includes marijuana, ma'am. And the court's going to also order you to participate in random testing. So as soon as you are released from custody, ma'am, you are not to leave the building until you stop at probation and get your testing.
Understood.
Information.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. That's very kind of you.
And we'll see you back on the 19th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
Right here. Right there.
All right, and good morning. Good afternoon. We're on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Justin Wright, 251567.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Good perception appearing with my client who appears to be Zoom with consent.
Thank you. And sir, your name for the record, please.
Justin Wright.
Okay, I feel like you've been here before, sir.
I have once more, yes.
Okay. All right, counsel, as to the arraignment.
Formal reading my client's statement.
The court will waive the formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment. Schedule this matter for pretrial on November 19th. 10:45 a.m. And counsel as to.
Your Honor, I know my client lives with his grandparents, so he does take care of them, at least one of his grandparents. Financially, he's not employed, so a financial bond would be difficult, but he did indicate that he will appear in all future court dates. I'd ask that be considered when determining appropriate bond.
All right, sir. Are you're currently on probation or parole anywhere, sir?
Yes, probation,
Where?
Lincoln Park.
Okay, when are you on probation? I'm sorry.
A DUI, I'm sorry.
Okay, so is one of the conditions of your probation not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs that are not prescribed?
Yeah, to not drink, yes.
Right, and yet here you are, sir, for an allegation of being intoxicated in public. And why aren't you working, sir?
I was just recently fired because I had to leave work early to get I had an appointment as Secretary of State to have a vehicle put in my
You
name.
were terminated, sir? That's the answer, is you were terminated?
Yeah,
When were you terminated?
when were you terminated? This was about a week ago, a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe, if that.
Well, sir, given the current status of probation for operating while intoxicated with alcohol, and given your prior matter in this court, which was also public intoxication, correct?
Yes.
Sir, based upon all of that, the court's going to order a $7,500 10% bond. You are not to be released without an alcohol tether to the Wayne County Jail. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. I'm sorry, what? Okay, hold on a second. First of all, you can't just shout out in court, sir. So did you speak to let's go out. Mr. Shumke, did you speak to Mr. Bright's father?
No, I didn't.
He wants to address the court.
Sir, you're not going to address the court. I will speak out home.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. And we'll see you back on the 19th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
I don't even know what just happened.
Okay. That all that's in custody right now? Have a good day, sir.